What's up YouTube, this is Joe from Zephyr Wargames and I'm bringing to you guys a deck that I've been extremely excited to bring to you, and that is my Junk Doppel deck. Not only Junk Doppel, but also my new rebirthed Red Dragon Archfiend deck. Yes, Red Dragon Archfiend has taken a completely new turn since my last deck profile on it, and in the form of Junk Doppel, because thanks to the Megatons, not only did we get, as you can see, the Link Monster Junk connector, but we also got the busted Junk Speeder, literally allowing Red Dragon Archfiend to make his ultimate form, Red Nova Dragon, in just 2 cards, which you'll see at the end of this video. And so with all that said and done, guys, let's get into this profile, because this is a deck that, as I said, I've been really excited to bring to you. Because, little backstory though, I used to play Junk Doppel a lot back in the day before Master War 4. It was one of my favourite decks, making shooting Star Dragons so easily, and Red Nova as well. And as soon as we got like all the Red Dragon Archfiends, I literally incorporated those as well. So it is one of my favourite decks. You say it was one of my favourite characters along with Jack Atlas from the 5Ds anime series. And so being able to literally merge them in the form of Yusei's main deck and Jack's extra deck was just fun as hell. So for the turn done, guys, let's get into it. So for one of the best tuners in the deck is Junk Synchron. You're gonna have the Junk Synchron. On normal summon, he summons a level 2 monster or lower from your graveyard, with its effects negated, if I think. Yep. And then literally that's it. He then makes your Junk Speeder. That's literally it. Moving on though, we have your Quickdraw Synchron. I only play 2 copies of this just because I like to see him, but I don't like to see him at the same time. He kind of just like makes your some 2 card plays into a 3 card play just to help it going, just to help it start up. Otherwise he's just in here literally as a Synchron level. So you rarely do the old Junk Doppel plays, which is why also I'm taking him only at 2. Also at 2 is Jet Synchron, to round up like the main Synchron monsters that you see in most decks that are Synchron based. I'm only playing 2 copies of him just because I found 3 is just not needed and it's just a bit too cloggy. You kind of like literally access one, the only one that you need to, through your Junk Speeder. The other one is just kind of like there, so you have one in your deck. And moving on to the run of Synchrons to round up the Synchron lineup is 1 Unknown Synchron, 1 Nitro Synchron, 1 Flare Synchron, 1 Drill Synchron, and 1 Road Synchron. Because Junk Speeder, you summon Synchrons from your deck, all of different levels. You want to have one of every level to summon onto the field, so you can literally get a board of 5, from a board of 6 from just 1 card. On all of these are just like really good Synchrons, probably like some of the best other ones that you can have. Unknown being the other best level 1, Nitro and Flow being probably, in my opinion, the best level 2 Synchron tuners. Drill Synchron, I think, is in here for not only being another good level 3, but because Drill Warriors are actually a nice Synchro monster to go into. And then you finally got Road Synchron, which I think is just absolutely amazing in this deck, because you can actually make Red Nova Dragon from using him, because he gets treated as a level 2 tuner if he's not being used for a road monster. So that's why Road Synchron is in here, over things like Hyper Synchron, which will probably be my next option to go with, and I'm actually thinking of upping Road Synchron to 2 just because of how useful he is. So those are the Synchron monsters. Moving on to the rest, in terms of like Synchron tuners, shall I say. Moving on to the rest of the main deck is 3 Doppel Warrior, the star of the deck. The other star of the deck, literally by name, Junk Doppel. Doppel Warrior we like to abuse because he generates 2 tokens for us when used for Synchron material. And being level 2 is also really important because it's the easiest way to go into our Road Synchron. Literally a level 3 tuner and a level 2 non-tuner. Probably though the next best card in the deck though is actually Synchron Carrier. On normal summon, you can normal summon one Synchron monster in addition to your normal summon or set this turn. So this literally makes your 2-card play. Literally, Synchron Carrier and another level 3 Synchron gets your Speed Warrior, a Speed Warrior, Junk Speeder, and then go into your Red Nova Dragon. Then you have your 2 Synchron Explorers. This allows us to do the level 5 instantly from just one card from the graveyard and a monster from the graveyard. And then to round up the main deck, I do play some techs. I am playing 1 Junk Forward, 1 Tuning Rare, and 1 Cobalt Hedgehog. Junk Forward is a nice tech in here because you can then go a level 3 monster with a level 2 tuner to go into your Junk Speeder. But you don't want to clog too much on him because, as I said before, our main way is going a level 3 tuner and a level 2 non. Which is when these two come in as well. Cobalt Hedgehog is really nice as a level 2 non-tuner that can resurrect itself from the graveyard. And also Tuning Rare can make itself level 2 when used for a synchro material, but it also lets you draw when used for a synchro material as well. So they're very nice tech choices in my opinion. Then I also play 2 Effect Vaders to round up the main monster lineup. Effect Vader is not only just a nice effect negation in the deck and a level 1 tuner, but it's also a Yusei card as well, which is very nice to fit the theme while having some effect negation. So you could just literally take this out for any 2 hand traps that you want. Things like Ash Blossom, Ghost Reaper, Ghost Ogre, literally all the others. Moving on to the spells, we do play 3 Tuning the Rotor of the Synchrons. Literally one of the best rotors in the game, in my opinion. Just literally does everything you want. Not only such you a Synchron tuner, but also mills a card from the top of your deck, which can be very, very handy if you literally search a Junk Synchron and mill a level 2. Then you got a Red Nova from just 1 card. Then you have your reinforcements of the army. We have played a lot of warriors in the deck. 1 for 1, we have a lot of helpful level 1s in the deck. Foolish Burial, we have a lot of monsters that like to go into the graveyard. I do play 2 Allure Darkness because I think 3 would be a bit too much. We don't really want to be banishing on monsters, but getting that extra draw power is very, very helpful for this deck. We do play 2 Revival cards in the forms of Monster Reborn and Soul Charge. We do play 3 Cool Body Graves because hand traps literally are hated by this deck and most combo decks. So we play 3 Cool Body Graves just to stop those hand traps. And I do play 2 techs just to help combat the Master Rule 4. Is 2 World Legacies Clash. So what this spell does is that it lets you banish 1 monster on your field, then reduce a monster your opponent controls by the original attack of the monster you banished, and then your monster returns at the end phase. So this allows us to go into our Red Nova Dragon. Then we can set this card. Your opponent summons something. You can then banish that tries to threaten your Red Nova. You can then banish it with World Legacy Clash. Reduce the monster, so you're not going to be taking that much damage. Or any damage, because he literally has 3,500 original attack, which will probably reduce everything in the game. And then he comes back to the field in the main monster zone, so your extra monster zone is free to use up for your next turn. It's a very cool tech. It's a card I've been wanting to try out in a deck for a while, and I'm just happy that I found a deck that I think it can work with very, very nicely. So that's the main deck, guys. Let's move on to the extra deck, where some of the stars are literally hiding. So the only link monster we're playing is Junk Connector. What he does is that he takes 2 effect monsters, 1 warrior and 1 machine, including a tuner. Once per turn during the main phase or battle phase, you can quick effect. Immediately after this effect resolve, synchro summon 1 synchro monster using only materials this card points to. If this linked summon card you control is destroyed by battle or by opponent's card effect and sent to your graveyard, you can special summon 1 Junk Synchro monster from your extra deck. This is treated as a synchro summon. So he literally accesses any synchro monster from your extra deck, and we play a lot of really powerful junk synchros in this extra deck, which you will see later on. Next for this now, for moving on to the synchros, we play the obvious Formula Synchron. If you want to play Formula Synchron, this helps you not only net a draw, but also access some very nice synchro players. I do play the 1XL Synchron. Ooh. The 1XL Synchron. Literally, also just for some, it helps us go into some very nice synchro plays as well, which is literally a lot of what these cards do. But the best card in the extra deck, that literally made this deck possible, is Junk Speeder. This card is so good. The artwork is absolutely gorgeous as well. I love this card's artwork. So this card, it takes one Synchron tuner and one or more non-tuners. If this card is Synchro Summon, you can special summon as many Synchron tuners as possible with different levels from your deck in defense position. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra except Synchro monsters to turn you activate this card. When an attack is declared involving this card that was Synchro summoned this turn and another monster, you can make this card's attack become double its original attack until the end of this turn. You can only use each effect of Junk Speeder once per turn. This card is amazing. This card is just absolutely amazing. Literally just enables so many high level synchros that were literally nearly impossible to make consistently in this game, thanks to Master Rule 4. Just possible things like, as I keep mentioning, Red Nova Dragon, but even things like Shooting Quasar is probably possible thanks to this card. You also have Shooting Star Dragon. He's probably easier to make with this card. Just literally so many options that you can make. Though mostly I've been seeing people using this with the Red Dragon Archfiends, just because they don't take synchro tuners to make. They just literally just take normal tuners. So literally Junk Speeder helps with making those cards. Very easy. To run up the level 5 synchro monster, I do play the 1TG Hyper Librarian. I really go into this card. I'm mostly going to the Junk Speeder, but Hyper Librarian is still handy to have in the extra deck. For the level 6, I just play Drill Warrior. Just again a synchro option to go into with either Drill Synchron or Quickdraw Synchron. The 1 Junk Archer, a strong Junk monster to go into with Junk Speeder and other things in the deck, but also just a nice effective monster thanks to Junk Synchron. One of my favourites is Junk Destroyer. A nice option, strong option to go into with Junk Speeder's ability. But you no, not Junk Speeder's ability. Your Link monster, Junk Connector. But also very strong board wipe if you can get them off successfully. To the level 8, I'm playing the obvious Crystal Ring Synchro Dragon. You've got to play Crystal Ring. So easy to go into with Junk Speeder. I am playing the normal Red Dragon Archfiend and Scarlight. In all fairness, you would probably just play 2 Scarlights, or even just Hot Red, but mostly just 2 Scarlights. But this is my first ever synchro monster I ever got in this game, so he's like a treasure to me. I just love the Red Dragon Archfiend, but it also just gives the deck an option to wipe out defense position monsters. It's just a nice one to go into first to make your Red Nova Dragon. But obviously Scarlight is the best Red Dragon Archfiend, to be all fair. Sorry, Red Dragon Archfiend. You're still my favourite. One of my favourites. 1 Abyss. You could probably bump Abyss to 2 if you want to focus more on the Red Dragon Synchros. But 1 Abyss is just fine. 1 Bane. Very easy to go into with Junk Speeder. And the star of the show, Red Nova Dragon. You could swap Red Nova for Calamity, whichever you prefer, or even Tyrant. I just love Red Nova. Red Nova just gets so beefy in this deck. He literally starts off at like 5,500 at the least. So it's just so good. But that, guys, is the deck. Just showing you the main combo that you would play. Just to finish off the profile, and that is just literally these 2. If you open up with these 2, this is your main 2-card combo. to make your Red Nova Dragon. So you'll start off with your Synchron carrier, normal summon him, and then you'll summon your Junk Synchron, and then you'll tune those two to make your Junk Speeder. Now Junk Speeder activates summoning Synchrons from the deck of different levels to your field in defense mode. So you'd go with your level 1 Jet Synchron, your level 2 Fleur Synchron, your level 3 Drill Synchron, 4 Road Synchron, and 5 Quickdraw Synchron. And you would summon all of those in defense mode. Next, you'll tune your Junk Speeder and your Drill Synchron to make your Red Dragon Archfiend or Scarlet. And then you'll tune your Red Dragon Archfiend with your Road Synchron and your Fleur Synchron, because as I mentioned before, Road Synchron, if he's not used for a road monster, he becomes a level 2. So you'll tune those to make your Red Nova. Easy as that. And then Red Nova gains 500 attack points for every tune in your graveyard. You at this point have 4 tuners in your graveyard, so that buffs him up by 2,000 points to 5,500, and he can't be destroyed. This card cannot be destroyed by the effects of your opponent's spells, traps, or monsters. So very nice protection on a card of this strength. Also, you can go this one way around if you have these on the field. And one extra card in your hand, you can tune your Red Dragon Archfiend with your Jet Synchron to make Bane. Then you can use Jet Synchron's ability to discard a card to summon it again. Tune a Bane, choose Abyss with Jet to make Bane. Then you can use Bane's ability to sack a monster on your field to summon back Abyss. Again, 2 cards you can either enter with Red Nova Dragon or Calamity, or Bane with Abyss, so you have some effect, a card negation as well as 2 stupidly high powered monsters. And that, guys, is the deck. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please leave comments down below what you think of this profile, what you think of this deck. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I will be playtesting and working on this deck a lot more as I go, maybe even incorporating the resonators in a way to just help make the deck more Jack themed. But overall, this is what I got, and I love it to bits. I absolutely do love this deck to bits. It's working so well. I couldn't ask for anything more from one synchro monster. Literally, just one synchro monster does all of this. It's absolutely crazy. But until as always, guys, like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Until next time, guys, as always, happy dueling.
What's up, YouTube? Thanks for watching that video. I hope you liked it. If you did, hit that like button, and of course don't forget to hit that big red subscribe button in the bottom left hand corner and the notification bell so you don't miss out on anything. We've got more deck profiles, duels, pack openings, and many more Yu-Gi-Oh videos coming up for you all year round, so don't forget to stay tuned for all of that. Thanks, and as always, guys, happy dueling.